It's only a short poll, so please take it. Refer to the link in the description below and let us try to understand. Hi, I'm Shaul. In order to correctly estimate the distances in a scene from a two-dimensional photograph, we get cues. Those cues let us interpret the shapes and the distances in the scene by two major phenomena. The first one is a large-scale thing. It makes use of linear perspective, of atmospheric perspective, where in vast scenes, contrast in the foreground is higher than the foreground in the background due to atmospheric haze or dust in the atmosphere, and other types of perspective. Another large-scale cue is the distribution of sharpness. The roll-off from sharpness to unsharpness can be either abrupt or gradual. It depends on the scene itself, of course, but it also depends on the absolute aperture, which means the physical hole in the lens, the diameter of that hole. Basically, physical apertures smaller than about 10 millimeters tend to make everything in the image sharp. Physical apertures larger than 30 millimeters tend to cause an abrupt transition from sharpness to complete blur, to unrecognizable blur. Everything between 10 and 30 millimeters give us a transition in sharpness where objects appear softer and softer as you get closer or further away from the focal distance. The size of the sensor has a great effect on the gradation of sharpness, mainly at wide focal lengths, where you need a truly large f-stop to achieve a physical aperture greater than about 15 millimeters. For example, a 28 millimeter lens will need an aperture of f2, which is quite feasible with fast primes made for full frame sensors. But for APS-C you would need an f1.2 aperture to achieve the same physical aperture. An 18 millimeter f1.2 lens is not something that is really available. So achieving a gradual loss of sharpness that will accentuate the distances in the frame is limited to full frame sensors and up. The second category of cues that makes it feasible to estimate distances in the scene is small scale. That includes the portrayal of curvature of surfaces, which enables us to correctly estimate the three-dimensional shapes of objects. And that category of cues is affected by the optics. Lenses that have a low content of low dispersion glass allow some light dispersion. Light dispersion causes a slight partial blurring of the image at the pixel level. Edges of surfaces affected by it appear with a thin transition zone on both sides of them, which is actually a mixture of two adjacent surfaces. This thin transition zone, tonal transition zone, causes something that I call microgradation, which gives us a cue for the right estimation of volume of objects in the scene, which by extension allows us to estimate distances more correctly. There's a dispute whether characteristics of the sensor, more specifically whether the resolution or the pixel pitch affects that microgradation or the small scale cues for the perception of depth. To test that, I put up a little poll where I'm asking you to estimate the distance between two objects in a scene. In that poll, there are three different portrayals of the scene. I'm asking you to try to estimate a certain distance in those three portrayals. It's only a short poll, so please take it. We really need a significant number of participants in this poll to come to statistically significant results or conclusions. So please refer to the link in the description below and let us try to understand whether the sensor has an impact on the small scale cues for depth perception. I used to own a lot of 4/3 and then micro 4/3 cameras. Now those two systems have plenty of really high quality optics at different focal lengths, but the restrictions due to the size of the sensor never allowed me to get a good transitional slow loss of sharpness in the images. So some of the images that are played in the background now have a good dimensionality due to the micro effect of edge gradation. But neither of them really portrays the depth of the scene in a natural, true-to-life manner. On the other hand, now that I use full-frame cameras, a lot of the lenses are flat, especially new lenses that are made for high resolution sensors with a small pixel pitch. In the photos made by such lenses, the dimensionality or the portrayal of depth is restricted by the optics. You do get transitional loss of sharpness, but it is harder to estimate the volume of objects in the scene. It is only by a combination of the larger sensor and low resolving power lenses that do allow some light dispersion and a good microgradation that you can enjoy the true-to-life dimensional portrayal of a scene. Before I say goodbye, please do not forget to click on the link in the description box and take the little poll. Thank you for watching.